Welcome to This Week in Astrology. This is episode number 545 for August 3 through 9, 2020. It's a week loaded with aspect patterns. For starters, we have an Aquarius full moon with 3 aspect patterns that enrich its positive possibilities. A Thor's hammer can help you activate past life talents to serve others. A double Yod Key can test and deepen committed partnership, and a Grand Trine can help you stand out as a leader or entertainer. Plus, we have 3 bonus aspects that are not in the written forecast. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm your host, Benjamin Bernstein, broadcasting from thisweekinastrology.com. I simultaneously record these weekly forecasts as an audio podcast and a video, so you can choose whichever format you prefer. The video version includes my chart graphics for things like lunations and aspect patterns. You can also see these graphics if you read my forecasts online. Just go to astroshaman.com, click blog on the menu bar, and choose the astrology forecasts category. Please leave me a rating, review, or comment wherever you're getting this so that others like you can find it. As we come into this week, we have a waxing moon. We have Jupiter retrograde through September 12th, Saturn through September 29th, Pluto through October 4th, and Chiron through December 15th. Let's get into our daily events. Monday, August 3rd, a full moon shines forth at 11:59 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's at 11 degrees, 45 minutes Aquarius. Any Aquarius full moon is great for release and adjustment in 3 areas. A lot of 3s today. Being your authentic self, following your intuitive flashes, and serving others using your special gifts and talents that you most love to use. Aspects. This full moon contains 3 aspect patterns: a T-square, a mystic rectangle, and a hard rectangle. This lunation's most important aspect pattern is a T-square with the moon, sun, and Uranus. This doubles down on the full moon meanings I've already mentioned, since Uranus and Aquarius share the same keywords. This T-square could stir up the low side of Uranus and Aquarius: nervousness, irritability, agitation, and jangly nerves. Some things might feel chaotic or out of control. Focusing on the life-affirming expressions of Uranus and Aquarius, listed already, should reduce these crazy-making effects. When you keep an archetype busy on its high side, it has less energy available for its low side. Make it a point to think outside the box and try something new. The principle of as within, so without also applies here. Cultivating inner peace will help calm your outer circumstances. My free embodied awakening invocation is helping thousands maintain daily ease and equanimity. There's a link to that in the show notes. The luminaries form a mystic rectangle with Juno and Chiron. This flowing aspect pattern supports healing and wisdom sharing within a committed partnership. If a relationship challenge came up, did it happen to you, or did it happen for you, so that old emotional wounds could be healed once and for all? My free healing invocation can help you do the internal shadow work to heal old wounds. Link to that in the show notes. To optimize communication with a partner around challenging issues, I enthusiastically recommend Nonviolent Communication. I also link to that book in the show notes. A mystic rectangle, which is bounded by soft aspects, tends to bring harmony. In contrast, a hard rectangle bounded by minor hard aspects, 45 degrees and 135 degrees, tends to bring challenge. This one contains the luminaries and the lunar nodes. This lunation's final aspect pattern will help you feel discomfort wherever you're out of alignment with your soul purpose. Is there some way in which you're resisting something unusual about yourself, or hesitating to share it with the world? Did you get an intuitive hit, the kind where you absolutely know it in your bones, but you're hesitating to act on it? With the lunar nodes in Sagittarius and Gemini, the axis of communication, is there something you need to learn or some information you need to share? Also, on Monday, August 3rd, we have Mercury opposing Saturn. Mercury, 28 Cancer, Saturn, 28 Capricorn. This, on the upside, says it's easy to discipline your thoughts. You can do more focused thinking, think deeper, more long-term. Saturn's really great in that sort of thing. Now, Mercury is in Cancer, which means you also can have a lot of emotional passion about what you're thinking. If you think in terms of communication, this can be emotionally evocative communication with Mercury in Cancer, and Saturn can help you be the wise elder, the authority, the one who really knows what they're talking about. So those are some interesting ways you could make use of that Mercury opposition Saturn. One other way it could play out is people trying to shut you down, where Saturn is the outside authority and Mercury is the communication you're trying to put forth. So if you're in a situation where you're being shut down by some kind of authority figure, then maybe you need to think, is it time for me to step into my own authority and not let anyone else tell me what I can and cannot say? And if you're the one shutting someone else down, ask yourself, is this really serving highest good to do this? Let's move on to Tuesday, August 4th. The basic meanings of Mars are amplified by its dignified placement in Aries and its Mars-Jupiter square. That's Mars 20 Aries and Jupiter 20 Capricorn. This is your moment if you want to step more fully into the role of athlete, warrior, pioneer, sexual being, or entrepreneur. And this square is just the tip of the iceberg when I get to the August 13 forecast. That's actually going to be on next week's show, 5 months of Mars square Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter. That'll be the big picture. If you can't wait till next week's podcast, it's already up on my written forecast at astroshaman.com. And here's another bonus aspect here on Tuesday, August 4th, Venus quincunx Saturn. Saturn again. Venus is at 28 Gemini. Saturn is at 28 Capricorn. And this implies there might be a little challenge around relationship, which is a key thing that Venus represents. Quincunx is adjustment. Saturn says challenge could be arising to give you a heads up. Something is not optimal in this relationship. So if you've got any adjusting to do in relationships, that could be anywhere from, wow, we just need to have a deep, good talk, maybe using nonviolent communication or some other system where we're really communicating clearly and effectively. And we'll make that adjustment to make the relationship better. Or maybe there's a relationship, it's time to let it go. Or put it on the back burner as much as you can. So I can't tell you exactly how a particular relationship is playing out here, but with Venus quincunx Saturn, relationship adjustment is definitely in the air. Venus could also be creativity and any adjustments needed there to restructure that. And Venus could even be your finances, because Venus is a natural ruler of money, and any adjustments needed there, any restructuring of, for example, how you're doing investments or how you're doing your budget. So on to Wednesday, August 5th. You have certain gifts and talents that you developed in past lives or that you inherited through your genetics. Are you ready to activate them so you can step into the spotlight and serve others with a quantum leap forward? This is one opportunity presented by a Thor's hammer that started on August 1st, peaks today on the 5th, and ends on the 9th. It includes the Leonine Sun, Uranus, and the South Node. The South Node also represents unresolved karma from your past. This aspect pattern could give you the catalyst you need to heal it quickly and perhaps publicly. Among the meanings of Sagittarius, the South Node sign are hope, joy, and optimism. You might experience these wonderful feelings immediately, as in the first example, or you might feel them after you complete your shadow work process, as in the second example. Either way, you get an awesome outcome. Moving on to Friday, August 7th. What adjustments would help heal one of your committed partnerships or take it to the next level of wonderful? This is the fundamental opportunity offered by a double Yod Key. It includes the Sun, Juno, Neptune, and Pluto. If you're wondering, what is a double Yod Key? Well, a Yod is a aspect pattern that has two quincunxes, 150 degrees, and on the back end is a 60-degree sextile. A double Yod Key is two of these guys linked together and sharing planets. Technically speaking, this aspect pattern, created by two interlinked yods, as I said, starts on August 10th, peaks on the 14th, and ends on the 17th. But the Sun-Juno-Neptune yod that fundamentally defines it starts today on August 7th. On the challenging side, Pluto could catalyze power struggles, Neptune could encourage delusional thinking, and the Leo Sun could lead to me-first egotism. But what if the same planets are used more consciously? Pluto could encourage authentic, intimate connection, which could include sacred sex, if appropriate. Neptune can open the door to conscious soul merging, as well as easy intuitive guidance. The Leo Sun can encourage fun and playfulness, while Libran Juno can promote harmonious relating. Sunday, August 9th. Are you ready to stand out as a leader or entertainer? Two overlapping Grand Trines give you harmonious support. The first Grand Trine with the Sun, Mars, and the South Node starts today on August 9th and ends on the 20th. The second with Mercury, Mars, and the South Node starts on the 13th and ends on the 22nd. Both Grand Trines merge August 13 through 20, and that's the image you're seeing as the two together. And all three variations peak on August 17th. Of course, you're only seeing that if you're watching the video or looking at the written forecast along with me. Whether it's the Sun and or Mercury in the aspect pattern, they're in Leo. This is the sign of the performer in the spotlight or the sovereign on the throne. Mars in Aries brings forth the energy of the leader, warrior, pioneer, or entrepreneur. And the Sagittarian South Node invites you to bring forth your past life experience as an adventurer or wisdom giver. Grand Trines give a certain amount for free and then they get lazy. So mine the trine to rock its full potential. Bonus event here on August 9th, Mercury trine Chiron. Mercury 9 Leo, Chiron 9 Aries. This is really optimally set up for mentoring. Mercury is the mind, what you're learning, what you're teaching. Chiron is the mentor. So this might even be a rather public mentoring because Mercury's in Leo. It wants the spotlight. So mentoring in perhaps a dramatic or entertaining way or in a more public way. This could also be healing. It's not quite as obvious, but Mercury in medical astrology rules the hands and the arms. That's where the subtle energy comes through a lot when you do like hands-on healing. Chiron, of course, is healing as one of its meanings. So while I feel like the teaching part is probably a little stronger, the healing is also supported by this trine, which of course creates a smooth, easy, automatic connection. So that's all the astrology events. I have a fess up here to give you. You can have the best intentions and still slip out of integrity. This is what's happened to me the last few months with this podcast, and I'm finally coming back into integrity now. As longtime listeners know, I used to feature listener charts on this podcast. They showed the effects of an astrological event on a specific person. After I changed to the current weekly format a while back, I repeatedly said that I would do occasional extra episodes featuring listener charts, but I never made time to do it. I apologize for not keeping my word. I finally had to admit to myself that I'm not likely to do listener charts on this podcast in the foreseeable future. I just can't justify taking the time to do listener chart episodes right now when there's so much work yet to be done on my passion project, my Awakening Plus spiritual membership. However, I am continuing this podcast's free monthly drawings. These give you a chance to win a free private 1-hour Astrology Plus session with me. But if you previously entered, you will need to sign up again. There's a link in the show notes that will take you to a sign-up form. Just enter your name and email and you'll be in contention. One upside of this is that with the number of entrants restarting at 0, your chances to win a free session just got a whole lot better when you sign up. Your entry will also sign you up for my Astro Shaman news emails. If you already subscribed, don't worry, your subscription will stay just as it is. I give away an additional free 1-hour session to Astro Shaman news subscribers, which actually gives you 2 chances to win each month. The new giveaway system starts in September, but you can sign up now. Just click the link to the sign up form in the show notes, as I mentioned. And please let me know if you have any questions or comments about this change. Everyone is welcome to participate in most Awakening Plus calls for free. These calls support your individual healing and awakening and also support the current global spiritual awakening. Here are brief notes on the August events I've scheduled so far. These are all at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. New Earth Support is moving, has been on Saturdays, now moving immediately to Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's because I only have one Saturday open in August. Rather than miss so many events, I figured it was better to change the meeting time. Change is the only constant. We'll create our sacred container, invoke embodied awakening, and then flow energy to support the more awakened new earth currently blossoming. The divine always rewards us with personal spiritual upgrades and profound bliss. These events last about an hour, and they're always subtly different, sometimes blatantly different. It's amazing how we do the same intention, and the variety is just endless. And people always end reporting really awesome experiences. I've got new events this time, no repetitions from the last couple of months, apart from the whole New Earth Support thing. On Tuesday, August 11th, individual healings. You can support the individual healing of the people on this call and maybe even get one of your own. Don't be surprised if you receive bounce back healing as you hold space for someone else. We should have time for 3 or 4 people in the hot seat. Awakening Plus members will be given first priority. If time remains and no members are waiting, the hot seat will open to non-members. I was amazed the last time we did this. The Awakening Plus members actually were done, and we did have time for 1 or 2 non-members on the last time we did this. So it's not totally imaginary that that could happen. Then on Tuesday, August 18th, Divinely Directed. This event is directed by Spirit's in-the-moment guidance to serve each person's highest good. This guided group meditation unfolds spontaneously. I narrate the experience, serving as the group's empathic tour guide. I don't create anything, I just report what's happening. Each divinely directed call is unique. However, a typical call features a subtle field being held within this sacred space. Each person receives the specific awakening, healing, or spiritual experience that serves their highest good. In addition to these customized individual experiences, the group often blends together as a single divine being. Words like bliss and euphoria simply are not adequate to describe some of the ecstatic spiritual experiences we share in the inner worlds. And then on Thursday, August 25th, we're going to have a guest presenter, still finalizing those details, and we'll let you know as soon as that person has been chosen. Also, are you ready to awaken to happiness now and create the life you truly desire? Join me and over 30 amazing transformational teachers, mentors, leaders, and wayshowers on the Alara Canfield Show, Awaken to Happiness Now Masterclass series, already in progress, but there's still plenty of juicy stuff left, as well as replays. Enjoy dozens of wonderful conversations and experiential processes, along with valuable gifts from the presenters. Experience powerful conversations, processes, clearings, and tools. Activate your free access now using the link in the show notes. Thanks for being here. Once again, I'm Benjamin Bernstein with astroshaman.com. I can serve you with astrology readings, shamanic healing, awakening activation, astrological event timing, and one-of-a-kind life coaching. All my one-on-one services are equally effective in person or long distance. And during the pandemic, I've dropped my rates significantly. I also offer an unbeatable price on SolarFire, the #1 astrology software for Windows. And as I mentioned, I run the Awakening Plus online membership for spiritual support. You can learn all about this and more at astroshaman.com. In fact, you want to see the show notes, just go to astroshaman.com/545. Again, astroshaman.com/545. Please reach out if you have any questions. My email is astroshamanbenjamin@gmail.com. My number for voice and text, 828-338-9852. I would love to connect with you. We're wrapping up. Once again, please leave me a rating, review, or comment wherever you're getting this so that others like you can find it. This Week in Astrology is honored to be chosen as one of the internet's top 10 astrology podcasts. Check out our website where you can hear the show and subscribe to podcast updates. I already have revamped my free drawing entries. I don't need to say that again. Thanks again for spending this time with me. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I wish you infinite blessings as the stars light your way.